Hey, quick question. Did anyone ever actually teach you how to manage your money? Because if you're first gen like me, you probably grew up hearing, ahorra tu dinero, mija, save your money, but never how, where, or what for. Today, we are changing that. Let's start with something simple, but very powerful. Knowing your numbers. That means understanding your income, your necessary expenses, your debt, and your credit score. You don't have to memorize every number. Just start writing things down. And to make things much easier, I created a money tracker for us first-gen Latinas who are tired of not knowing where to start and feeling very overwhelmed. It's called the Dinero Tracker, a money tracker that breaks everything down right there on one Google sheet. If you want it, the link is in the description below. I'll be honest, when I first started doing this, I was shocked. I didn't realize how much money I was spending on takeout food and gas. It was insane. It was like almost more than 50% of my income, embarrassed to say. But knowing where my money was going was the first step into my financial success story. Okay, step number 2, budgeting without feeling restricted. Budgeting, I think it's a bad reputation. You feel like you gotta restrict, you gotta stop buying those coffees, gotta stop spending money at the gym membership. But I learned that budgeting isn't about limiting yourself. It's about having intentionality with your money. It's about directing your money with intention. The classic method that I'm sure you've heard is the 50-20-30. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings to your debt. But if that doesn't fit your needs, adjust. Tailor it to your needs. When I first started, I didn't save 20%. I saved maybe like 5%. And then as time went on and I figured out my goals, I eventually was able to reach up to 20%, 25%. My biggest tip is adding a guilt-free category where you're still able to continue buying that coffee. You're able to do things that bring you joy, whether that's going to the gym, going out to eat once a week with the amigas. Because you're allowed to have fun and still live the wealthy life that makes sense to you as you're continuing to build your future. Step number 3, credit and debt basics. Okay, let's talk credit because it affects everything. It affects your rent, your interest rates, if you're buying a car or a house. And I haven't had this experience, but I've heard it can affect your job application. To build positive credit, this is what I recommend. 1, utilize maybe 15 to 25% of your credit line. Maybe only start with 1 credit card. First, learn how to manage that credit card, learn how to pay that card off in full. And then after a year and a half, maybe 2, open your second one. Avoid opening 5 credit cards at once because that will tank your credit score. Yes, it'll come back up eventually. But first, learn the basics of managing a credit card to build a successful credit score. If you can't pay your credit cards in full every month, then at least make your minimum payments. But what I truly recommend and what helped me build my credit score to an 816, where it is today, is I would only use my credit card with the money that I had access to. For example, I have $1,000 in my bank account that I am willing to spend on food. What I would do is then I would only spend $1,000 on my credit card. Once I was done, I would pay it all out and then build my credit that way. And say that you do have debt. There are 2 things that you can do. There's a snowball effect and the avalanche effect. The snowball, you start with the smallest debt. On the other hand, the avalanche effect addresses paying off the highest interest. Choose whatever method keeps you motivated. Step number 5, family expectations. This one is near and dear to my heart. Being a first-gen Latina, family expectations can be a lot. Because maybe you're the one your family goes to for help. And maybe sometimes you feel guilty or shameful around saying no. But here's the truth. You can love your family and protect your financial stability. The biggest thing I did was set clear boundaries, whether that was starting by saying no and or by creating a family support category in your budget. Don't jeopardize your future because you're carrying the weight of everyone else. You're allowed to build your own life. Okay, now that we got all of that figured out, let's talk about savings and investing. Step number 4. This is where your wealth starts to grow. Let's begin with the emergency savings fund. I recommend opening up a high yield savings account if you haven't already, and put your emergency savings fund into this account. Roughly, this account gives you like 2, 3, maybe 4%, depending on where we're at with the economy. That's a lot more than your typical savings account of like 0.01% that gets you a few pennies here and there. Your emergency savings fund or account should hold roughly 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So for example, after you've tracked your money for maybe 1 to 2 months, you've noticed you spend roughly like $1,000 a month. Okay, so we'll do, to keep numbers easy, we'll do a 3 months worth of expenses times 1, because it's 1,000. So that would equal roughly $3,000 into the emergency savings. Start small, aim for small goals. It's okay if it takes time. Even if it's $20 a month that you can pour into your savings, algo es algo. Now, investing. You don't need thousands of dollars to start. You don't need to be an expert for it either. Let's start with your employer. Your employer hopefully and more than likely offers a 401k, and sometimes they offer a match, which essentially is free money. So say that your company offers you a match of 3%. Well, do the 3% at minimum. If you want to do more, feel free. But just know that the company is matching you at 3%. Anything above the 3% is all you. If unfortunately your employer does not offer a 401k, open up your own accounts, whether that's a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. Once you have those open, start putting money into that account. But remember, once that money is in your account, you still have to invest it, which is a whole different thing. Okay, that was a lot. I hope this was a reminder that you're not behind and that you got this. You're building a foundation that most of our families never got the opportunity to build. And that's so powerful. To make your journey super, super easy, and because I know this was a lot, I also created a checklist. This checklist vaguely goes over everything that we just talked about in this video. You can download it in the link down below. It's totally free, just like the money tracker. Overall, these resources will help you start your journey into your financial success. These resources will help you start, stay organized, and feel more confident throughout the process. If you want a deeper dive on how I use the budget template or how to truly invest or other financial topics, let me know in the comments down below. And if this video helps you, please feel free to share with your other first-gen Latinas and let me know what you guys think. And subscribe for more money guidance para nosotros. You deserve wealth, stability, and peace. And I'm here to help you along the way. Nos vemos in the next video. Ciao.